Welcome to the second of our trilogy, being hosted by ourselves, the Sylvan Healing Sanctuary. And I want to thank Feroze for his willingness and appreciation for running today's event. Today is Vipassana breath meditation, and the guidance and experience of Feroze's many years of practice, and wanting to share how to bring some support, some interesting insights for each one of you. Some things many of you may already know, and for those that are starting out on the meditative journey, then it is a opportunity to take on board some ideas and thoughts. And why the collaboration? The collaboration is based upon our strong belief that in order to take care of ourselves in the world that we live in, we have to learn self-healing. And the meditative practice is a simple and supportive way that we can be in touch with our physical self. Through our breath and through our sense of our own awareness. So without further ado, let me hand you over to Feroze.
Direct you to be aware of your breath. Just relax now, please, wherever you are. I know that you're sitting in different places, but just sit back, relax. Just be aware of your breath going in and your breath going out. Just in, out, gently. And focus your breath at the tip of your nostrils. You are now aware of the breath and the sensation at the tip of your nostrils as you breathe in and you breathe out. I don't want you to go into full meditation. Just please connect to my words. I want you to be aware of this tangerine in my hand. You can look at this screen and imagine that you're holding the tangerine, that you're aware of this tangerine. You're aware of this beautiful texture, although it's a bit rough. This lovely color. You're mindful of this color. You're mindful of this texture. And as you try and open the tangerine, you're mindful of how beautiful it's structured. You can smell it. Oh, it's a beautiful citric smell. And as you peel it, you find how beautifully it's engineered. You're aware of its structure. You're aware of the juice as it... Now, I'm not going to bite it, but imagine that you're biting into the tangerine. I can even feel the beautiful smell. What is awareness? Are you aware of what you're doing when you're walking, you're talking, you're speaking? Are you aware of what you're doing? Being aware is something we all possess. It's a great attribute, a great asset. We don't use it enough. Being aware means being mindful. If you are aware, you will see much more than meets the eye. Focus on your breath. Gently breathe in. Gently breathe out. Connect to my voice. When you're aware, when you're mindful, you're not thinking of the past. The past is gone. We know that we should learn the lessons from our past, but accept what has happened and move on. When you're mindful, you're not thinking of the past. When you're mindful, you're not thinking of the future. The future is outside your control largely. But even if you're concerned about the future, what you do now helps you in the future. So being mindful is being in this moment. And also being mindful. And when you're focused in the here and now, your mind will be free from negative thoughts. You'll be free from attributes like anger or jealousy or greed. Indeed, if you're mindful, if you're aware, if any of those negative thoughts arise in your mind, you will be aware and you will stop yourself from acting on it. My best friend Joan Fountain said, when you're meditating and you're doing this with mindfulness and you're living with mindfulness, you have plenty of time between the thought arising and your actions because you're aware of what is happening. You are aware of your thoughts, you're aware of your actions, and you will stop it. You stop from being angry, you stop from expressing your, jealousy action, and you'll be happy for it in a pragmatic and a practical way. Mindfulness means seeing more than what meets the eye, and eventually seeing the truth of your own existence. But mindfulness cannot be always achieved by words. And Buddha, 2,500 years ago, and probably his greatest gift to humanity, in my view, was to teach meditation, or Vipassana meditation as it is called now. But to practice mindfulness, we need to understand the role of sensations. Understand how our senses work, actually. And by senses, I mean the sense of taste, touch, smell, our mind cognition, our hearing, our sight. How do these work? Buddha described them in a very easy and chronological way. He said, first, when an event happens, event to do with one of our senses, then the first thing that happens is we become conscious of something happening around us. The mind gathers the data of what has happened. The second step is that we perceive what is happening. Our perception comes into play. Perception makes sense of that data. It works out whether it's good or bad or whatever that event is. So it works out what that event is. Let's assume that that event is, for a minute, somebody saying something hurtful to you. Now, the next thing that happens to you is your body creates sensations. The body creates sensations. So maybe you get angry, which means your heartbeat goes up, your start sweating. Maybe you want to punch the person in the face. I don't know, whatever it might be. And then the fourth part is the reaction of the mind. So the mind recognizes these body sensations. It tries to identify something that has happened in the past. That is to say, preconditioned experiences. And then the mind reacts. You let out your anger. Now, you may lose control. You may say something that is hurtful. You may act irrationally. So, what Vipassana is, among many other things, is also teaching you is not to allow the mind to react. Okay? We want the mind to not feel these sensations of anger, of the adrenaline going out and the sweating and this anger. You want to be calm, collective, incisive, and aware of what is happening at that time. You may even see the other person's point of view. You may also perceive it to be your ego. I guess what I am saying is you want the mind to rationally review the position with awareness, with incisiveness, but without body sensation and hence a reaction. I remember saying a word to somebody, it was an innocuous word, but they didn't like it because somebody somewhere in the past had said something to them which was adverse about them, that preconditioned thinking about that word allowed them to have a negative response. So, what is Buddha saying? He's saying, I will teach you a way. I'll teach you a technique where you will not react, but you will be calm, collected, and insightful all the time. So, I'm going to ask you now to gently bring your breath back to the tip of your nose. You probably have it there anyway. In, out. Now move the breath awareness from the top of your head, and as you breathe out, right through your body to the tip of your toes. And as you breathe in, bring your breath awareness from the tip of your toes right up the top of your head in some sort of scanning motion, like you're scanning your body. You're trying not to leave out anything, it's just everything right. Now, for example, when I do it at the moment, I'm feeling sensations in my body. As I scan my breath from the top of my head is tingling, my eyes are relaxed, my neck is a little bit tight, my stomach a bit maybe hungry, I'm not sure. And then I feel a little bit of unpleasant sensation in my knees and then to my toes. Okay, so you may feel different sensations. And when you start first, you probably just feel the sensation on the surface of your skin. But in time, you'll feel your internal organs as well, your liver, your stomach, your lungs, your heart, and so on, as you scan your breath up and down. I know I use the word sensations. Maybe that's what you're feeling. But the next word I want to introduce to you is equanimity, meaning a balanced mind. Maybe even a detached mind. Now, here is the point of equanimity, that as you feel these sensations in your body when you scan your breath, up and down, you do not want to consider them as good sensations, bad sensations, neutral sensations. You simply want to observe those sensations with a detachment, with an equanimity, as though you're almost a bystander. These are all just sensations. Breathe in right to the top of your head. Breathe out right through the body to the tip of your toes. Up and down. So, why are we doing this? As I said, we observe these body sensations with equanimity, without responding to them, without feeling good or bad. You're just observing these sensations. Now, I take you back to what Buddha explained, which is consciousness first of an event, perception of what is going on, and then when those body sensation arises, for example, when somebody makes you angry, the Vipassana mind is not going to feel those body sensations. It's not going to go into a sweat and into a huff and a puff and react. The Vipassana mind will see it like a bird in the sky, will see what is happening, will not react, but look at the circumstances as they arise, as they play out, with equanimity, with detachment, like a seesaw in perfect position, neither up or down. Now, I think you can see a good example in a practical situation is if somebody gets you angry and you step away for a moment, maybe go and sit down, have a drink of water. Those body sensations will pass and you'll be calmer for it. This is a practical example. And you will act properly and maybe you will not be rude or you won't get into a fight. But the Vipassana mind is in the moment all the time, is free from reactions, is free from body sensations. Until such time that the mind sees everything. It sees the truth of our existence. It becomes as sharp as an arrow in perfect flight. Calm, insightful, picking up more than one can see. Because all the senses are connected to the moment of now. They're not distracted by the past. They're not engrossed in the future. They are completely. I'm going to give you another good example. You know, some people have eating difficulties, example only. If you're mindful of what you're eating, when you're eating, the way we describe the tangerine, and you should try it. I honestly say to you, that when I'm in a mindful state, every mouthful is an ecstasy. Everything is a miracle. Of course, these moments are not, they are quite rare. Nevertheless, the more you practice, the better you get at this. There's yet another phenomena that is happening during Vipassana meditation. I want you to bring your breath back to the tip of your nostrils. Breathe in gently. Breathe out gently. Remember, focus. This nose, this sensation becomes a switch for you. And you can switch this on and off if you're in a stressful environment. If you have a moment to take out, just go sit down and switch on this focus at the tip of your nostril. These days I can go, and that's enough. I don't need to have a drink of wine. I just gone. You will have control of your breath, and if you have control of your breath, you'll have control of your sensations. You'll be mindful. So I'll take you to another phenomena that you will experience during Vipassana meditation. As you practice, you will feel that your body is full of vibrations. The body is only vibrations. There is no physical weight, there's no physical awareness. It's just a mass of vibrations, because our body actually is made up of subatomic particles, and they arise and they disappear, they ebb and flow. That's what we are. We're just a mass of articles, small articles, continuously changing, continuously arising, falling away. And you realize that there is no core, there is no one thing there is no self, there is no ego. Buddha said that better one day of experiencing this sensation of rise and fall, of ebb and flow, than 100 years of existence. And he's saying this because the experience is life-changing. Buddha said, words won't change anything. It is this experience. And once you've experienced this, then the words will make sense. So, what would I say to you? I say to you, I hope you understand the technique. I hope that you will practice it. And then, if you do, and you're consistent, you will experience all the things, and perhaps more. Each individual has their own experience. It's different. My experience is different to yours, yet there is your own experience. Now I can see that I had a beautiful story to tell you about this, but perhaps for another day, as I can see from the corner of my eye that the time is ticking by. I would say to you, remember the words awareness, mindfulness, sensation, impermanence. Buddha was a master of the mind, absolute master of the mind. He understood the mind is natural joyfulness. In the next session, we have something completely different. If I hope that you will come. And that is to do with the heart. The Sufi mystics discovered that whilst we have physical senses, we also have subtle senses called latifas. Senses to do with intuition, to do with perception, that can be activated by breath. Completely different perspective to the mind. Now, if you are in meditation, gently bring yourself back. Breathe in, breathe out, come back to where you are. Open your eyes. Gently, gently open your eyes. Thank you for listening.
Feroze, thank you very much for guiding us through some very deep and interesting thoughts for us to bring our understanding to awareness, to breath, to the subtleties of Vipassana. We will make this recording available for anyone that wants to recap. And you may find that you will have heard some things that that will show up on the video that you won't have even heard. So really give yourself an opportunity to play and replay and listen, to allow your mind to wander to the thoughts of where it takes you, and to bring yourself back to the breath of your individual self. Notice how you can connect with your breathing through your whole self. Allow the energy of your self-healing to come through your breath, to begin to create your own holistic self. Recognize that you have a deep understanding of your own physical body, and you can give strong and deep healing to yourself through your breath. So I hope that is a supportive addition to Feroze's message.